Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be looking at episode 3 of What If Civilization Started Over. So, in the last episode, we saw more events happen, such as the formation of this country here. We also saw these few countries form down here, as well as the rebelling in France. We also saw another war between the Finnish and the Red Team, where Finland gained this puppet and then went to war with them again. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get started. I hope you enjoy. And yeah, let's go. As you can see, I've updated the religion map. So, yeah. And also, I updated the map on this layer. I don't think I can say that word, but this. But yeah, anyways, let's get started. So, as we can see, these guys don't have any major cities besides their capital. And, well, that's probably not gonna go too well for them, considering they're on a freaking mountain. So, yeah. So, after their leader makes a questionable decision, a bunch of people in here are gonna say, you know what, we really don't like you. Yeah, we're gonna revolt away, buddy. So, yeah, we see a revolution begin in this region of the country. And these people just start taking as much land as they, virtually can. They push all the way over to where the capital is. And by then, they've taken almost the entire country by now. Because there's nothing here. Genuinely. This country, they're kind of like the Mongols. They took so much, the Mongols had, all of this. They had all of this, but they just didn't do anything with it. Only this part of it had people and cities and stuff. So they just didn't do anything. Well, yeah, that's basically what these guys did. So they are gonna be just completely screwed over. It's just when they get to the capital that these rebellions are gonna have a hard time. And so these rebels actually they decide to just leave them alone because how are they gonna do anything in their capital? They're just let them live. So we see a peace treaty, not really a peace treaty, but just kind of different groups breaking away and forming whatever country they want because they're just gonna do whatever they want. So yeah, we see obviously the original country. We see this green country form. Yes, we see the green country. We see this country. Nope, that's too similar. We see this northern purplish country forming. We see this light green. Nope, actually too much. We see this light red country forming. We see this dark red country forming, which is actually going to be one of the biggest, if not the biggest. And then we'll see this country stay the same here. Let me just fix up these borders a bit, and by fix up the borders, I mean make them disgustingly terrible. Because that's how borders were back then. So, yeah. So this is what the borders of these countries look like. They aren't going to have any major cities yet because, well, they are new countries. And they're just, in chaos. So these guys are actually the most stable out of them, despite, just dying in the war. But, yeah. Anyways, moving on. We see the Greeks doing some exploration. They discovered they discover the people of Naples, and they decide to be friendly with them, because, why fight? So, yeah, but these guys start exploring around more, and they eventually make it into Asia. So, these are the first people to explore into Asia. So they continue to explore along the northern coast of what would be modern-day Turkey or Anatolia until they reach the Caucasus Mountains, and they are like, man, we can't cross this. So yeah, they're definitely gonna have some issues, cause yeah. So they decide to just explore along the mountains until they reach more water, or if they reach water, and eventually they reach a sea, the Caspian Sea. They continue exploring downwards until they decide to head home, and they actually they continue exploring and they find this nice lake here, and so until they decide to head home. So they head home, and these guys are like, there's so much stuff, like a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. And so they decide to explore upwards a little bit more. Oh, no. So yeah, they explore north a bit just to get some stuff. And eventually they're gonna decide to finally expand. And so the Greek country is gonna expand this way. They want to make their way over to this mysterious Asia. Obviously it's not called Asia yet, if it will even be called Asia, but yeah. So yeah, they explore this way. They explore this way, and eventually they take this land. They obviously aren't gonna take land all the way over here, because then they would just collapse, but they are gonna, just settle this land so far. Anyways, we are gonna be seeing another conflict take place, as this orange country, they actually see some good stuff in taking this purple country. So the orange team is actually gonna just completely roll over this purple country, without any. It was not hard at all. Anyways, the red team is actually gonna start some expansion because it's been a while since they expanded, and it also wasn't that long ago they got absolutely beat up by the blue team. So they explore south a bit, and they're realizing a lot of people don't like them, and they're realizing they're gonna have to what's the word, change. So if we go ahead and take a look at the ideology layer, if I can find it, the ideology layer, there we go. If we go ahead and take a look at the ideology layer, we can see that they, as of right now, they are a oligarchy, as shown over here. But they are going to change that, as we see that take place, and so they are going to change from an oligarchy to a monarchy. I know they skipped over dictatorships and stuff, but hey, that's what they want to do. So yeah. They are definitely gonna do this. So this country now turns into a monarchy, just like the blue team and a couple of other countries. Anyways, moving away from the ideology layer, here we are still gonna see some more conflicts. Specifically, we're gonna see some conflict in Scandinavia, because the Swedish country, which was formed last episode, they're gonna begin expanding a bit. They want to take some more land. But then they kind of run into the Danish, or the Jutlandish people, whatever I called it. And, well, it's not gonna go too well, as they begin an invasion. They separate this, these group of scouts away, and they kill them. Meanwhile, they begin pushing into the more infrastructured area of Jutland in Scandinavia, and they take it. They obviously don't take that island, but we see, tons of naval warfare going on here, but in the eyes of the Swedish, they've taken that land. Because while they are still technically at war, they're not really fighting. They're just, naval, so we are going to see them build a couple of major cities. Now, obviously, they're not just deciding major city. Bam, major city. No, so this is going to take a couple of years. And obviously, it's not too many, and they're just keeping them along the coast. But, yeah. Meanwhile, though, not the Swedish. The Norwegians, they are going to explore north along these mountains. Because they realize, it's colder up north, and they like cold, so they begin exploring up north. They finally get around this mountain range, and so they continue going this way, not realizing they're legit just heading home. And so eventually they run into more mountains, so they continue to follow the mountains, and eventually they end up back home, and they're like, what? So yeah, they're a little bit confused. So they begin sending more scouts, and eventually they realize what happened. And they realize that oh wait, we turned around on accident. So no weird conspiracy theories there, sadly. But yeah. We do see some of this being explored and eventually just like all of this. So the Norwegians, they're, of course gonna expand, and so they begin expanding this direction. They don't bother the Swedish for now, only because it's just better that way. Meanwhile, though, the Finns, they are gonna expand more over to here. Anyways, we go ahead and take a look here. Something interesting happens, and people start like just leaving this area. Like not even like they're dying, like they're just leaving. So much so that we see almost the entire green team being like destroyed. We also see their puppet here, enclave. Meanwhile, this Octanian country, yeah, they're not going to be living much longer because the French, they want their old land back. So yeah, the French are going to start a quick invasion into Octania and quickly capture the capital. So Octania is they're just screwed, and so the French fully capture their coast on the Atlantic Sea. Now they are able to make some advancements and get close to their capital, but they aren't able to take it. And any advancement that they did make just immediately just falls. We do see something interesting taking place though, and that interesting thing is the fact that oh man. So yeah, these like Beneluxian people, or the Dutch or whatever they'll be called, they revolt away and start like rapidly advancing. And so they get pretty far into the French, and yeah, France is just not doing too well. So we see Octania and France make a peace deal. I forgot I have. And I also forgot the province layer exists, so well. But yeah, so we see them kind of just agreeing on a peace deal, and what shall said peace deal be? Well, they say, France will take a couple of provinces. Said provinces France takes will be they will take all of these, and after they take the territory they rightfully got. Nope. Now they still have to continue dealing with this kerfuffle here, where they yeah. So they continue their push a lot slow now that the army's there, but still a big push. And they capture this pretty big industrial area, and although it doesn't have a city, it's still a small province. So the Beneluxians are gonna get pretty far into the French, and I mean like really far. This is how far they get. So the French they're forced to sign peace, or else they're gonna die. I mean like their country's done for if they don't sign peace. So yeah, the French are gonna go ahead and do that, and this is what we see the peace treaty looking like. There we go. So yeah, that's what we will see this peace treaty looking like, and basically the only country really that won from this was Benelux, because France lost a ton of land, but they also got land from Octania. And Octania just lost, to be honest. Like they're Octania, they're just not having a jolly good time. But yeah, we are gonna have to see the new capitals of these countries. And said capitals will be Bap Shablang. Speaking of capitals and major cities and whatnot, these countries finally are gonna be getting one. They're only gonna have like one major city, obviously, because they're not doing too well. And so I think you can take a guess on where their capitals will be. This country's capital will be here, this one will be here, this one here, and this country's capital will be in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. That's the Mediterranean. I'm kidding, it's here. Meanwhile, though, we have to go ahead and take a look at the Danzigian country, or the Yellow Team, because they are going to be doing something. What is that? Well, they are going to be invading another country, and that is going to be the Orange Team. So the yellow team forces start pushing in really fast, but the orange team they were prepared for this because they know the yellow team doesn't like them. So this is like one of the bloodiest battles ever. I mean, like 20,000 are dead. Like it's a lot. So the battle is gonna continue raging on for a long time until it's left to just this. But you know what the kind of stunt the orange team pulled earlier? Yeah, well, turns out that's actually going to help them because these countries did not like the purple team, so they're going to start an invasion of the yellow team. And of course, they don't have a lot of like supplies, they don't have a lot of anything, but they are going to do their best. And so we just see tons of invasions in. So yeah, we just see a bunch of invasions happening. The pink country is able to invade into both, while this country just pushes into the old orange team territory. So the orange team is able to push back and gain their land back, and so the orange team is able to completely recover. And you may be saying this seems unrealistic, but you gotta think, all of the yellow team forces were over here. So the fact that these guys down here were able to invade is not that unrealistic. So the orange team is gonna push all the way over, and these guys are gonna do the same. They push over here, take it, and well, yeah. Yellow team's not gonna do so well. So they're gonna go ahead and surrender, and so let's take a look at this. So to start, the orange team, they're gonna be gaining some land. What land, you may be asking? Well, they're gonna gain 3 provinces, and it's gonna be these 3 here. And this also allows the orange team access to the sea. The pink teams, they're gonna take this, and the green team's gonna take this. Now, I know these boards are hideous, but you have to remember. No, I don't think they're gonna take the entire yellow team. I know these borders are absolutely hideous, but you also have to remember, these guys don't care. Like, they just want to survive. So yeah, they're just gonna take genuinely whatever they can. Meanwhile, over here, the Greeks, they're gonna, like, continue to just do what they're doing. Like, it's not even, like, if they find something over here, like, they could be the richest if they are able to sell it, something that no one else has. So they continue to stretch over until they reach the Caucasus, and they stop for a bit. And instead, they actually decide to explore the ocean. They have one of the better navies in the world, so they are gonna explore the ocean as best as they can. So they reach north. So they continue up into the Black Sea, expecting an ocean. That's what they're expecting. So as they continue going up and up and up, they're gonna be disappointed to find there is not an ocean here. I don't know what they will find though. Another country, as there is a lime country here that's kind of just been sitting here for a bit. It's a Ukrainian country. So they are. So they are gonna reach this country and they're gonna be like, "Ooh, what?" Because before this, they didn't know that other countries existed. They thought that everything came from just like what used to be there, what used to be from the red team. Because they weren't around when they like left before Norway got discovered, so they didn't know about this yet. So they find this country and they'll be chill with them for now. They realize that they connect here, so they're gonna connect that. Now, of course, we are gonna have to look at this country's like stuff, their major cities and whatever, because they're actually gonna be pretty like developed compared to a lot of the other countries. Is they're gonna have a lot of major cities, and when I do provinces, you'll see theirs are gonna be pretty small compared to a lot of the others. Anyways, I know this video is short, and so we're actually only gonna see one more event take place. I'm sorry, it's kind of short, but I'm working on something, so I kind of gotta, yeah, I'm working on something. Anyways, what will we see? Well, it's gonna be to have to do with these guys. We are actually going to see a union between two of them take place. What two will that be? Well, it's going to be between this green team and the pink team, because they are clearly, like, just not doing well. So they're going to unionize in... I don't like that color. They're going to unionize into one country, and they're going to officially become the Union of the Alps. So, yeah. That's gonna be it for today's video. I know it was short, I'm sorry, but if you guys enjoyed, please still like and subscribe. I'm trying, like I've said in every other video, I'm trying my best here. I, again, don't have a software to edit, so, yeah. But, without further ado, that will be it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, I already said this, yeah. See y'all. Bye-bye!